Did not go very well, but what definitely has gone well so far for Bischu is, I would say, his career in the NASL. Despite losing to best of threes, he has played some really great games.
That's right, and we're going to see him try to duke it up against Targa right now. The starting map, of course, as you just saw, is Daybreak. Let's go ahead and head into it right now. In the top right-hand corner as the pink Zerg, we do have Targa spawning over here on Daybreak. In the bottom left, we, of course, have Bischu, and already you can see something of a deviation. You know, Bischu has been favoring this gateway expand that we've been seeing throughout the NASL and his regular matches. But Rotterdam, you are our resident Protoss. Why don't you explain that a little bit?
Well, I'm actually personally not a big fan of that, but that's really just a flavor thing. Some things you like, some things you don't like. Bischu feels comfortable with it. Of course, you save a little bit of money. If you have to send a probe down all the time to build a pylon over here and then a forge, you lose mining time. More importantly, if you want to go gateway before forge, it makes perhaps a little bit more sense to build it in your base. Because if you would play against a 6 pool, it's much more likely that your pylon is going to die over here than it is over here. Over here, can you keep it alive a little bit easier? Overall, Bischu just loves to go gateway into expand rather than expand into gateway. This way, he's going to have much quicker warp gate technology. And we all know that Bischu loves to be aggressive with them warp gates.
That's right. And, you know, I did say gateway expand. There is also the ability to go forge fast expansion with this style. I've seen variations of Grubby actually doing this. But I do feel like just because of how we've seen Bischu develop throughout the league, he is going gateway expand. So that being said, the very common probe scout is going to come a little bit later, and Targa's already put down his hatchery, which is also uncommon. Normally it's 14 pool, 15 pool, something around there, and then you put down your hatchery directly after that.
That surprised me quite a bit on the Ray, but I think it's smart. If you know that your opponent goes gateway first, why not go hatch first? You know you can get away with that. There's really nothing that he can do. By the time that he chrono boosts out a Zealot, the Zealot might be able to get a couple of slices off on this hatchery, and then you're going to have to run around your queen a little bit. But at the end of the day, Zerg is going to end up ahead economically by a large margin, so I think that's awesome. I think it's smart by Targa, and I'm curious to see what Bischu is going to do about this, because if he goes for the standard expand right now, he's going to be so badly outmined.
That's right. And normally in this stage, when Zerg actually sees that your expansion isn't up for this long, a gas is going to be thrown down. Now, you want to get that metabolic boost up as fast as possible, because there's one major thing you have to be careful of, which is some variation of gateway pressure, whether it's 3 gate, 4 gate, 5 gate, etc. We've seen Bischu go up to 6 gateways.
6 gateway, no gas
at
last week.
Yeah, at like 6-7 minutes into the game, which is absolutely insane. Now, if Targa's not actually opting to get the gas, what do you think about this?
This makes you, this is something beautiful early on. Exactly 16 drones, no more, no less. Immediately starts mining the drones to the natural. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, Andre. I think opening up gas is completely safe. You're really not going to fall behind economically because you're so far ahead already.
That's right.
I think he could have definitely opened up with speed links. Now he takes double extractor.
Interesting.
So he's still going to get really quick speed.
Yeah, making up for it. He could have started that, I think, 25 seconds faster, and it's the equivalent of getting the metabolic boost.
Bischu's going to switch it up though, Andre, as he's perhaps aware of the fact that it's unlikely he's going to be able to do anything with early gateway aggression. Well, I just got the hiccups. Now that's kind of unfortunate when you're a caster.
Yeah.
Carry the show, Andre, I'm dying.
You know, I was actually going over Targa's build with Huangsin when we were studying his PVZ, and Targa has this tendency to always rely on roaches for early game aggression. He doesn't like to really rely on Zerglings. And when we were looking at that, we were saying, well, you know, he's not really going to do early game aggression. You could be really greedy with your tech. And we can see that already. Dark Shrine is coming out here, but Targa's switching up completely. You can see Metabolic Boost has been thrown down. Zerglings are coming out, but we'll see if he actually makes any more Zerglings. Normally, in our games, we probably looked at 10 to 15 games. He makes like no more than 2 Zerglings for the beginning stage.
And look how close that Overlord was. That's so sick. I didn't actually see it, but he sort of committed with that Overlord, then tried to keep it alive. In the end, did not keep it alive. Oh, this Zergling could be a superhero, but it's not going to be. Or, nope. Oh, and I think that...
Did he see Warp Gate was coming up? I don't know. There might have been a small indicator to actually show him that the gate was
this gate opened.
Yeah. If he was like super sharp. That's right. But we're going to see Dark Templars popping out any time now. Does Targa have any indicator that this is coming? No evolution chamber.
No layer attack on the way. Well, there we go, layer attack, but that's of course a little bit too late.
Yeah.
And pylons going up all around the map. I find it super sloppy. Targa, why is there no Overlord over here? Why is there no Overlord? At least in the natural.
Yeah, it's almost like the creators of Daybreak said, please place your Overlords right over here so you can see everything.
Yeah. And well, that's actually what they said, I think. I think they got drunk and said, hey guys, I got a great idea. I play Zerg and my scouting is not very good. So why don't we make this map?
Invisible places for Overlords to sit on top and
the other guy,
everything.
And the other Protoss guy, he's even more drunk. He's like, I love you, man. Let's do this. Only because I love you.
Yeah,
and that's how Daybreak got created.
As we see, roaches are on the way. I think Targa feels like this is going to be some sort of 4, 5, 6 git aggression, but that's not going to happen. Zergling is going to counterattack, which could be a little good, but Dark Templars are already going to wreak havoc in the main base, and here we have it.
Dark Templars can, of course, be warped in defensively as well. I'm not really sure why Bischu's not doing that. There we go. First Dark Templar do get warped in. This cannon will fall, but I don't think the Lynx can really stream in yet. So Targa right now realizing what's going on. He can morph overseers. He's actually doing it already. And so far did not really lose a lot of drones. Wow, this is kind of insane.
But look at the lair at this point. I think the lair is going to go down. There's no way that he can actually... Oh, wait, he's not targeting that. Excuse me. I'm just watching your camera. That's why. I thought he had 2 Dark Templars on there.
No, he sent one to the natural. I was following that one. So this Dark Templar will fall as well.
Wow.
So worker-wise, Targa's... worker-wise, Bischu's doing very fine. Tech-wise, obviously with Dark Templars, you don't have fantastic tech. He lost his Forge as well. I don't even think +1 finished up. No, he didn't. I kind of like Targa's position, as silly as it sounds. Yes, he's still down 11 workers, but we know how quick Zerg can turn that around. He still has some larva.
That's right, yeah.
He has queens. He has speedlings. He has a lot of roaches. Army supply is a world of difference. 46 against 10. I really like Targa's position.
Yeah, and when you see that many roaches as Protoss, you're basically thinking, I need to hard defend against this. That's why you see 2 cannons coming out, Immortals, and probably Bischu has 1 move from here. It's going to be like Immortal, Sentry, plus Expansion. I don't really think he has any capabilities to tell himself, yeah, I can go attack. But Bischu, you know, that's within his range. Don't get me wrong. He loves his 2-base aggression. But I really feel like he's just going to prepare an expansion, or at least try to take an expansion, because I think any attacks from here on out, you know your opponent's ahead in tech, you know your opponent's ahead in units. I mean, really, their range of all-ins are even possible, so you have to be really careful.
I really like what Targa is doing. He's already sending out that drone. He needs to expand once more. Bischu researching Blink kind of gives me the feeling that he perhaps still wants to hit the timing. Yeah. Targa has to be careful with these roaches. Targa, you really don't have to make anything happen right now. Yes, you're behind in workers, but by the time that he could potentially attack, everything should be fine for you.
Yeah, I don't mind taking out that 1 Forge just to limit +1 or anything like that, but I agree with you completely. I feel like Targa should just back up from here, get 60 drones, and then he's fine.
This is, of course, so important as well, Andre. You know it. Since you played so much Zerg, you really limit Protoss options even more. Because as silly as it sounds, guys, yes, as pro gamers, you try to count out everything and you try to make a plan for the game. But every now and then, there's going to be these split-second decisions. Do I go 3-base or do I go 2-base all-in? And basically, Zerg dropping creep in the turret of Protoss, you eliminate that option. And
that's right.
Protoss is going to be like, okay, I only have 1 option right now, which is always already an uncomfortable feeling.
You know, I always say in StarCraft, knowing what your opponent is doing is a luxury. What really separates the best players is knowing what they can't do. And then you kind of just start to relegate the options and see, okay, my opponent is probably doing this build or this build, and then you prepare for both of them. And we can see Targa already knows what's coming. He sees 3 Immortals. Blink is, of course, out. How is Targa going to deal with
Festers, Andre, and that's, of course, the best option against his army. Certainly right now, the upgrades are not good on this Gauge War army. Blink, of course, is going to help out a lot. Targa needs to buy time for himself. If he gets those 6 Infestors, I would just spawn Infested Terrans. Maybe like a Fungal or 2, then try to swarm around with Zerglings and Roaches, and then just spawn Infested Terrans and, and maybe 2-3 Fungals. I do think that this base is going to die. If I were him, I would never... Oh my god, are these Infestors? Yes.
Oh no, that's such a shame. Because 1 single Infestor is actually so important. 3 Infested Terrans, but more importantly... Oh, Bischu's actually going to back up from here. And thankfully for that 1 single Infestor, there's a warp in, it looks like, into the main base with this warp.
Triple Dark Templar warp in, and there's not a single Spore Crawler over there, so that's going to deal really a lot of damage. Fungal, of course, should help out a little bit. Dark Templars are taking in position to take out the layer, I guess.
And where's the Overseer? He really needs to get over there ASAP. In the meantime, look at that, just surging forward past the Spine Crawlers.
Oh, he's got a force field.
Oh, wow. And Infested Terrans need to drop immediately. Rotterdam.
I don't know if it's going to be enough. How many sentries do we have remaining? Quite a few. One more force field goes down. Spinecrawler tries to focus down the sentries. Very smart play. One more sentry. Remaining sentry will fall. That's the last force field. Yeah,
and then a stream of units are going to pop out here immediately. Is it going to be enough though, Rotterdam?
He doesn't have any energy anymore.
Oh,
beautiful positioning there. A lot of links do stream through. This is the last remaining Immortal. This is so close. I think Targa has enough.
Yeah. The point is, I mean, Targa could just back up from here. He doesn't need to constantly engage against this, and he has a lot of infestors. But oh, that one single Dark Templar still going away on that lair. If he loses that lair, that's actually pretty crippling.
Yeah, not just that. That one Dark Templar apparently killed 21 drones on the raid.
That's insane. The lair does go down. Targa now limited to only one single mining base.
For a second, I thought everything was fine for Targa, but that one Dark Templar.
You know, because I played a lot of ZVP, and even if your opponent takes 3 bases, the fact that you actually keep your infestors alive, you're actually able to build on that substantially, and then infested Terrans feel like they're invincible, honestly. Like, if you're only on gateway units plus immortals and you're attacking, then you're in a really good position. But Targa, he has taken his 3rd base yet again, but the Warp Prism harass and just the constant Warp Prism activity has been just so outstanding from Bischu. He's been able to clean up a lot of the, just the empty bases.
This is just paradise right now for Bischu. He's so far ahead. He does end up losing that one Dark Templar. But with the economy that he has, he can trade a Dark Templar for an Infestor all day long, guys. Because right now, Bischu doesn't have to make super good trades. He's out-mining Targa so badly, mining more minerals, way more gas. So he can just make those trades all day long. Targa is rebuilding, but basically he wasn't mining on 1 base. Right now he got quite a few drones again, and he's going up to 2. But Bischu, as we can see, is going double robo. He's going to add the robotics bay. The moment those Colossus enter the fray, I just don't see any way how Targa can deal with the army of
precisely, because you need Spire Tech. You really don't have the ability to actually move that far around the tech tree. If you're Zerg in this position, you're trying to rebuild your drone army. Let alone just getting gas right now. So this is such a difficult position for Targa. He's going to need a miracle. He needs, like, the money, what are those called?
Bundles?
No, the other neuroparasites.
Oh, really?
And he needs, like, 4 Immortals and maybe 2 Colossus. He steals them all for the whole battle, and then he can actually win it.
Yeah,
but from here, it's, like, almost impossible for Targa to win.
That sounds as realistic as me beating Teja. Teja, of course, one of the players we are going to see in action later today. Right now, we do see Bischu going for another big Zealot Warp in the... he's sacrificing quite a few minerals here. This was not the best use of his minerals, even though he's taking out a few links. He's going to end up losing all Zealots and he's going to end up losing the Warp Prison.
Yeah, such an unfortunate thing. But, I mean, let's be honest, Bischu is in a position where he can really do whatever he wants.
Oh, apparently we had Dark Templar harass at the same time over here in the right bottom side of this map. This hatchery is running very low on HP. Yeah, of course, he had 2 Dark Templars. Sorry, guys. Kind of missed that one.
But, if I want to actually criticize Targa a little bit, I feel like taking the 3rd base way back when, the Blinkstalker plus Immortals were coming out, I think that wasn't super necessary.
No, I'm kind of feeling the same way.
I feel like you can go lowly style and just do mass tech off of 2 base. Make sure you get your infestor count, even upgrades to an extent, and then go ahead and take your 3rd base. Because your opponent is so far behind in tech that they're really relegated to this like mid-tier tech, which is, low count of Immortals, 3 Immortals, which is still powerful, but normally you have like 8 sentries behind that, not 3. And that's how many Bischu had in that one attack. So I feel like Targa did kind of misplay this, but he played it overall really, really well, and then it was just that one single battle where he gets all of his army chopped up that killed him. But when it comes down to it, right now Targa is just still struggling. Colossus are already out. If we look at all the bases, I mean, Bischu is really in an outstanding position, taking his 4th base faster than the Zerg, and when you're in that position, Hive Tech is nowhere near. Spire Tech is just starting now. I mean, everything is looking like a great game for Bischu.
2-0 upgrades now as well, despite losing that Forge early on the Ray. Targa did recover quite okay. Bischu's marking his target right now. I really hope that he's not going to wait for a Mothership. That would be so unnecessary, as Yes, we have a lot of infestors here, Andre, but with 4 Colossus and all these Blink Stalkers, he should be more than fine.
Yeah, you normally need some sort of AoE to deal with those Infested Terrans. You know, when I was playing Zerg, I always said that Infested Terrans are actually the most imbalanced unit against anything if you don't have AoE. They just are so versatile, and you can see Infested Terrans being spewed out here, but great force field, just trapping all the units from not actually getting into the fray. The Roaches could tank and allow the Infested Terrans to get up, but you can see the Infested Terrans are just getting mowed down so fast.
Big warp in the main base as well, but let's take a look at this fight first. While we do see those Infested Terrans melt away, the Infestors use all of their energy, but it doesn't matter because Colossus are oh so good. There we do have that Warp Prism. Warp Prism will fall, so that was not a very successful attack, but of course, Targa burned so much energy already, and I almost feel that just rallying Roaches and Fungling and then using Infested Terrans would have been a better choice.
Yeah, it would, but I really feel like Bischu was in a position that
I agree.
he could blink forward at any time and just snipe off every single one of those Infestors if they tried to do massive Fungals the whole time.
Bischu's attacking on the right moment though, because if he would have waited even longer, then Targa would suddenly once again have an army that could actually fight him. Right now the army of Bischu was just a little too strong. Infested Terrans getting spawned, but it doesn't really matter as this is a Colossus ball that Zerg just can't deal with the economy that Targa had over the course of the last few minutes in this game.
That's right, and Bischu's just going to clean everything up right here, focusing down on all the Infestors. Roach is trying to get in, but they are not going to do enough damage. You can see everything melt immediately. We're going to see a GG called out pretty soon. Targa taps out. We have a 1-0 score for Bischu.
I love it as well that Bischu still had 1 or 2 Immortals in the mix. This is something that Protoss players sometimes forget.
Yeah.
Now this is of course amateur advice, but not everybody is a Grandmaster League player out there. Is that yes, Colossus are a much better unit than Immortals, and you always want to have rather 6 Colossus than 6 Immortals. Well, maybe not if you're playing against Mass Roach, but never make the mistake that you go pure Stalker and let's say 3 Colossus, because you can actually, as silly as it sounds, you can die against just 200 supply Roach, because Roaches are very, very strong, and just having a few Immortals in the mix makes your Protoss army so much stronger and so much harder to engage.
I agree. And I felt like Targa, he did everything that he could have if Bischu let him actually have more time. If Corruptors are actually out in that field, I actually feel like Bischu would have died there.
With 15 Infestors, it's definitely possible.
You know, there's this stage in ZVP where you get enough Infestors, you get enough Corruptors, and it doesn't matter what you have. If you don't have Archons and Mothership, you're dead. Like, it's just impossible to actually penetrate it. You don't even need Broodlords. Well, I mean, Broodlords are always good, don't get me wrong, but...
I mean, I do think that Broodlords is still a whole nother level of Pure Infestor, but if Pure Infestor can be very strong as well.
Yeah, I meant like Infestor Corruptor and then like Zergling Roach,
yeah, no, that's
like
true.
that.
I mean, as long as the Colossus die, then Infestors are a terrible unit to face as Protoss. I've had builds like that as well, where I felt like I was hitting in timing, and Zerg just immediately realized what's going on. He's like, okay, you know what, I'm just going to send in a swarm of Corruptors, and as long as I take out the Colossus now, I'm going to fungal your Stalkers, and my Lings are going to come and kill everything.
Exactly.
That kind of stuff happens on the
That's what's so powerful in ZVP especially. But we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, game number 2 between Bischu and Targa. That game was brought to you by Audible.com. Go to nasl.tv/p/audible for some sick promotions. What are you going to say?
And download your bestseller today.
And download your bestseller today. And I'm going to do a bitter moment, okay? This is how he actually signs out. And we're going to actually go to game number 2 after this break. Don't go on any... Oh, no, that's not how he does it.
No, it's more like...
how does he do it?
Which camera? Which camera? Oh, there we are. So guys, just don't... Well, I have no idea what's going on. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 2 between Bischu and Targa.
After...